Hello, and welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, my name's Philip. I am a nature and landscape photographer based in the Midwest. And on this channel we talk about nature, landscapes, photography, and travel, and how those go together. We are currently at the lovely Death Valley National Park in southeastern California. So, as you've already seen from the intro, I flew out of Kearney this morning and flew into Denver, connection flight, Vegas. Stopped in Vegas for just a moment to get some supplies, pick up the rental car, get some food, and drove 2 hours over to Death Valley National Park, and I'm here now. I just took a nap because I was super tired. I feel pretty good now. It's absolutely gorgeous here, and time to go take some pictures. I'm gonna bring you guys along. Let's go. Okay, just finished shooting at Dantes Lookout. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, this view is pretty incredible. Broke out the long lens first, trying to look for some detail shots and things like that. And got an adventure selfie. And now I'm in a hurry because, as you can see from behind me, the sun's going down. And I want to get back over to Zabriskie Point, which is the iconic location for this park, and grab that shot and just keep shooting, and basically until I don't want to shoot anymore, because this place is absolutely beautiful. So back to the car. Good morning. So last night was a little weird, more on that later. You just saw sunrise at Zabriskie Point, and I'm going to get a move on over to Water Basin and hopefully get a few shots down there, maybe while the light is still a little bit soft and before it gets super hot down there. So I'll fill you guys in a little bit more on what has kind of been going on when I get there. But for now, let's go. Okay, out at Water Basin now. I'm walking out here looking for some shots, but it's a backup. So last night kind of ended up being a bust. Went over to the sand dunes instead of Zabriskie because the light just really wasn't what I was wanting personally. And tried to do some moonlit photography at the dunes, and was a little tired. Also kind of wasn't feeling the results I was getting, so ended up deciding to call it a night. Got up, went to Zabriskie Point, which, like I said, is the iconic spot in Death Valley National Park. Super pretty. Not incredibly crowded this particular morning, but there was people there. So if that's not your style, that's something to consider. Side note, be respectful and mindful at national parks, please. Some photographer decided that he was cooler than everybody else and decided to go stand literally in front of everyone off the platform, which was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen probably in my life, to go stand in front of everyone trying to take pictures. And he's like, well, there's a path. Well, just because there's a path doesn't mean you're supposed to go there. Which, this is a video that I talked, or something that I talked about in my video from Bryce Canyon. I'll link that up here. Light was beautiful. Got some shots. Kind of a hard place to shoot because there isn't really a lot of opportunity to use foreground, which is okay. Still really pretty. Anytime there's not any foreground, I just usually will break out the 70 to 200 and zoom in on details, which Zabriskie, I would say, it shines in its color palette. Browns, whites, purples because of the alpenglow. Super pretty. And now I'm out at Water Basin. Like I said, drove out here, and this place is really cool. A lot of what you see in photos is these little lines of salt, and because I am below sea level right now, what happens is everything drains down into this area and then evaporates, and then leaves these really awesome mineral deposits. So I'm literally walking on salt right now, which is pretty cool. So well, I'm going to look around for some compositions, trying to incorporate these really interesting salt patterns that are created. One thing that's going to be an issue, I know, is trying to go wide to incorporate these without shrinking the mountains so much, but that'll be a part of the fun. So let's see what we can't figure out. Okay, so I think I have a composition picked out that I'm okay with. I would definitely say that this is kind of a tough area to shoot in. I'm just trying to like not shrink the mountain so much, and then, like I was saying earlier, incorporate these really cool salt patterns. This is definitely probably one of the most unique places I've ever been. I'm below sea level right now. I don't know if I said that, but this is the lowest spot, I want to say, in the United States. So that's a kind of cool thing that I can check off the old list. But just real quick, talk composition. I have one of these really neat salt lines out here that's starting in the bottom right of the frame, and I'm using that as kind of a leading line into the scene. And there's this really nice light back there hitting the mountain that's just absolutely beautiful. That is going to be an obvious subject in for your eye. So there's kind of this nice diagonal tension in between those two elements, and yeah, that's what I'm using as a composition. Quick talk about settings. Right now I'm at f11 ISO 100, and that's giving me a shutter speed of a 50th of a second. F11 to get as much detail as possible. I am, however, going to focus stack this image, where I take one focusing on the foreground and one on the background. That way I can make sure that the image is sharp from front to back. These salt lines are so cool that it would be a shame for them not to be in focus in the image, which is why I'm choosing to focus stack, for just to cover my bases for when I get home. So right now, taking an image for the foreground and taking an image for the background, and you'll see that now. Moving through Mosaic Canyon right now. It was something that was recommended to me by a park ranger, which is something that I like to do. Ask someone who knows the park better than the average person. Everyone's going to tell you to go to Zabriskie here, which it's beautiful, but this is a different experience than what most people probably do. If you made it so far in this video, thank you. I'm gonna reward you with a couple travel tips to end the video. Travel tip number 1 for the airport. There's a shuttle bus that takes you to your rental car, so you don't need to get an Uber. Number 2, gas is super expensive in the park like it always is, so make sure you gas up before you get here. And number 3 is make sure you drink plenty of water. It gets super hot here. The phrase I like to use is camel up. So even when you're not tired, you should be drinking water. So those are my 3 travel tips for this video. I'm gonna keep walking around here for a little bit, and I think that's gonna be it for me here in Death Valley. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Headed up to the Alabama Hills and Mammoth, and then in the Yosemite National Park. So that'll be the next couple videos on the channel. So if that sounds pretty cool to you, probably should subscribe, follow along. Just saying, gonna go to some pretty rad places on this trip. So if you've made it this far, again, I thank you for watching. Really appreciate the support. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.